Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, people? You know it ain't nothing but a TRC thing, man. I'm your homeboy, Killer K, and Happy New Year's. Happy 2018 from the Rasslin Cafe. And I'm gonna let y'all in a little secret here, man. We done fucked up because we done recorded a podcast yesterday, but that shit didn't record, so we here again to do it, man. Take 2. What's up, Big Southern, man? Happy New Year, bro.
What's up, man? Yeah, it was a disaster yesterday. We did a podcast, and shit happens. It's all good, though.
Oh, man. So, how was, I'm going to ask you again, how was Christmas, bro? How was Happy New Year's, man?
Christmas was really nice. Went to my hometown to see the fam, and we had a really, really good time. And unfortunately, we had to leave on Christmas Day because my wife had to be to work the very next day. And, yep. But we had a really good time. It was really nice, really nice.
When you say you had a good time, was it one of those good times you couldn't remember the day after, the next day?
No, this was one of them good times that I would want to continue to remember. Because, yeah.
Well, my Christmas was one of those things where I couldn't remember the day before, bro. And you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah. I've had those kinds of Christmases before, but not this one.
So, social media stuff, man. At the Rasslin Cafe, Facebook.com/the Rasslin Cafe. Subscribe to the podcast. Guys, I'm really starting to sound like a broken record. Y'all know where to subscribe. But the beauty of it, man, it's free. It only takes 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds unless you don't know how to use your device, man. But it's, subscribe using iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn, yep.
And when you do that, man, I ain't going to be nagging you guys because it's going to automatically download to your device. And we are also on YouTube. So go to YouTube, type in the spelling lesson here coming, guys.
Rasslin.
RASSLIN Cafe. So type that in, and all our podcasts will be, including this one, will be available on YouTube, and other material will be up there once we can get our shit together.
Exactly.
But today we got a special guest. She's from the, I'm not going to tell you where she's from, so you guys don't have to be showing up at her doorstep or anything like that and asking for autographs. But, name is, Lady G.
Lady G.
What's up, everybody?
You see, guys, don't she sound hella cute, man? Just like, Regis, but this one is of age, though. I mean, the other one's of age, but, still too young for my blood.
I'm full grown.
Oh, yeah. So, how you doing, Lady G? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing? I'm
doing great now that you're on the line because we got some...
Glad to be chilling on the Rasslin Cafe.
Yup. So our listeners can know who you are. Let me ask you, how did you get into wrestling? What got you interested into naked men half naked men fighting pretend on TV?
Okay, so I've been watching wrestling since I was a little girl. Grew up watching wrestling. But, you talk about naked men. See, I didn't think about it like that back in the day, see. But now, yeah, I kind of see it more like that a little bit. I'm more into the look than the...
Yeah, that'd be kind of uncomfortable, though, man. I would not feel comfortable going out there in underwear. So,
No, I was just kidding. I really enjoy the wrestling.
So, what company got you? Are you a WWF sheep, like the rest of us?
I am a WWE fanatic, yes.
Favorite wrestler?
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
Definitely. Yes.
Cool.
He is.
Cool.
Well, I ain't gonna say he's the best right now. He's still coming up in the WWE, but he's about the hottest one.
Did you watch him in, where was he at? ROH, right? Southern?
No, I didn't. Nope.
Okay.
See, I didn't venture out to other wrestling things. Like, okay, yeah, WCW back in the day. I didn't do Ring of Honor and all this stuff. My husband has gotten me into NXT now. I didn't care for TNA at all. But, yeah, I'm strictly WWE.
That's good. So let's talk about
But
2000.
I knew who Finn Balor was before he came to the WWE, though.
Yeah, he was it Prince Devitt? Was that his name?
Yep.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I'm a WWE sheep myself. You know, I've been watching it. For all the new listeners out there, I've been watching wrestling since 1990. My favorite wrestler will always be, I don't give a shit what anyone says. We could take it outside. You know, people got beef, but The Undertaker, man. Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've been watching wrestling way longer than that, but I came up on NWA, WWF, WCCW, all of that, AWA, all the territory stuff. So
see, I'm talking religiously watching the product, but like, yeah, you know, when I was a little boy, you know, I saw LPWA, GWF, but I didn't. I was just like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? But you know, but
yeah.
I really got into it in WWF 1990. So let's talk about 2017, Lady G and Southern. Overall, man, you know, what did you guys think about WWE for 2017 when it came to the product, in-ring product, storylines, and things like that?
I'll let the lady go first.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to go first. This is your show. I'm just a guest.
No, we treat guests. You know, we treat guests here really good. You know, they get first dibs, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so one of the main storylines that I really thought could have been left is the Fandango and what's his face. He's not even worth remembering. Those stupid files thing they doing. They could cut that completely out.
Are you
That is
serious?
a total waste of time.
That's
you can
like,
focus on
that's funny.
something else.
You see, like every product though, I'm noticing has those funny guys. You know, like I was telling Southern in another podcast. You know, we've had Santino, Doink the Clown. You know, WWE, they need like their different mix. You know, you got the serious dudes, you got the funny guys. I think that's their job on the show. What do you think, Southern, as far as the fashion files are concerned? Do you think there's a place for that, or you think they need to not be there?
I think it's good with what they are doing now. They took it off of TV, and now it's just, I think it's just a YouTube thing now. But I think the place for it would be YouTube, and I think it's pretty funny to those who like that kind of stuff. But you know, YouTube is the place for it. It is just a waste of TV time, if you ask me, and that's my opinion.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back in here. It would have been cool if it was actually funny.
Well, some of it was funny.
It's okay to have a storyline like that if it's going to actually be funny. I didn't find anything funny. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe y'all did, whatever, but
wow,
I could have wasted more time on something else. You know what I'm saying?
You see, and then I must be like a little kid at heart or something, man, because I find them funny. All right, so what about
some of them were funny, so
about,
I got to give that to them.
Favorite pay-per-view? Do you guys have a favorite pay-per-view from last year or a favorite match?
Now I got to give it to them on. I'm gonna say, No Mercy. And the only reason why I'm saying No Mercy is because they had to scramble that pay-per-view together after those guys got sick and everything, and that turned out to be a really, really good pay-per-view. we got to see AJ Styles face Finn Balor, and you know, AJ Styles came off of a freaking tour, flew all the way there, came in and wrestled, and the dude came and wrestled on that Monday and that Tuesday. I mean, come on, man. But yeah, I got to say No Mercy.
Are you sure that you sure that's I think that's Survivor Series when AJ did that.
No, that wasn't Survivor Series because remember AJ faced Jinder Mahal on. I mean, not Jinder Mahal. He faced Brock Lesnar on Survivor Series.
See, man, there's so many damn pay-per-views, man. I'm telling you, man, between the Twisted Tea and all these goddamn pay-per-views, man, I can't remember everything.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, I would have to say I don't have Royal Rumble. I don't care. It will always be my number one pay-per-view because I like that whole countdown thing, and I like, you know, I mean, unless you're a real big smart like us. You kind of see where it's going, but like this year's Royal Rumble, we're gonna get Lady G's thoughts here since she's a woman. But you know, who would you pick? Yeah, we don't have all the people in there, but we already damn near know who's all gonna be in the Rumble. You know, there's ramblings, or maybe I don't know if it's rumors or people want Shinsuke to win it and see that AJ Styles match at Mania. You know, because it's already penciled in for Brock and Roman. But speaking of the, you know, Royal Rumble, first ever women's Royal Rumble, Lady G, what do you think about that?
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited. You know, Nia Jax is my girl, you know what I'm saying? I'd really like to see her do something, but we'll see.
Southern, thoughts on the ladies Royal Rumble? Oh, were you finished? This is our first time doing this podcast, all three of us guys, and like I said, we're trying to do a catch up from the mess up from yesterday, so bear with us here.
For real. But as far as the women's Royal Rumble, I'm loving it. And I do love the fact that the WWE didn't say anything to the females about it, although it was rumors out there that they were going to do it. The WWE kind of shot it down like, no, we haven't been talking about anything like that. And Stephanie came out there and sprung it on them like that. And all of them just got so emotional about it and everything. They forgot that they were fighting and everything. So anyway, I think it's really good that they finally got something like that going. And my pick to win this absolutely is Asuka. It's absolutely Asuka. If Asuka don't win this match, I will be shocked.
A lot of people see.
Yeah, I agree with you.
A lot of people say that the sleeper might be Paige, though. Paige might take it because she's had a pretty good comeback.
Who?
Paige.
I don't. I wouldn't be mad if Paige won, but I don't think she's gonna win it. I think there's a place for them to get. I think that Paige may be the first one to probably beat Asuka. She might be. I mean, she's worthy enough to do it, and that would help her career. You know. Because, I mean, look at Charlotte, man. Charlotte has done a whole lot of things already. So, I mean, a lot of people would like to see Charlotte beat Asuka, too, which that wouldn't make me mad either. I wouldn't be upset about that. But the first female to beat Asuka will be that will elevate their career. But, yeah, like I said, Paige winning, that I wouldn't... it wouldn't bother me. I'd love that too. But I'm going with Asuka. That's my pick.
Any thoughts, Lady G, about Paige possibly winning it?
No, I don't think Paige is going to win it. I agree with Southern with Asuka. I mean, she is undefeated and all. I don't think anybody's going to beat Asuka. Nobody's ready for Asuka. However, like I said, now Nia Jax is my girl. I'd like her to see, like to see her actually do something and maybe leave it up to be her and Oscar. You know what I'm saying? That would be awesome for me to see. But I don't think Paige is gonna do nothing.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm sure that all of those females are gonna get together and they are going to get Oscar. I'm not Oscar. They are going to gang up on Nia to throw her out. And then, Tamina is another Amazon, you know what I'm saying? And they are going to have to pretty much do the same thing with her. Or it might come down to Tamina and Nia eliminating each other. We'll see. It's going to be some really interesting things that's going to come about with that. And some of these legends coming back. I mean, we don't know who it may be. Kelly came around not long ago.
Wow,
she might be one.
Did you just use Kelly and legend in the same sentence?
Well, I'm not talking about her being a legend. I'm talking about her being like one of the ones who used to be a champion there, but no, she ain't no legend. But let me see. They still, Victoria and
Lita.
I doubt. Well, yeah, Lita, but I doubt. I doubt she do anything right now because she just had a baby not long ago, and she's probably not even ready to do all of that. I've been here. She's not a legend or anything. She's a legend in her own time in the UFC and MMA. But I'm hearing stuff about Ronda Rousey being one of the 30. This is going to be really interesting. And then some of the females from NXT. So we'll see. We'll see.
A lot has been said about the women's revolution. Now, people say, okay, yeah, it's great. They're main eventing pay-per-views, they're main eventing shows, they're getting longer times on matches. Okay, so if they're getting a longer time on matches, check this out. So, New Year's Day and January 2nd, Raw and SmackDown. So, Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. They got 15 minutes on Monday, and then the next night, the Riot Squad versus whoever they were wrestling against, I forgot. They only got 6 minutes. So why are we boasting about more time? So it looks like Raw seems to be more of like the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus more on Raw. So how can we give women on SmackDown more time?
Well, some of the females on SmackDown do get more time. I know you got to look at the length of time that Raw is. Raw has 3 hours, SmackDown just have 2. And some of the females like Charlotte and even Big Booty, what's her name? Naomi. Let me see, Becky Lynch, all of those females, they have gotten pretty good time. But like I said, you just got to look at Raw being 3 hours and SmackDown only being 2. And you have to divide all of that time and try to put as many matches on as possible. And, speaking of the women's revolution, I don't see how people are sitting here thinking that the women's revolution really started in WWE, because it didn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, the WWE have some really talented wrestlers, and I'm talking about the female department. They are really talented today, and I think that today's females are more risky and more talented, truthfully, than past females. Which, there were some really good females from the past, but really where the women really got their start far as getting all of these crazy matches and stuff is TNA. Although a lot of people shit on TNA and everything, TNA, boy, look at what TNA did with Gail Kim, man. How the WWE sat there and wasted Gail Kim. Gail Kim went to TNA, man, and she dominated TNA. And I mean, you had the beautiful people. You had all kinds of lethal lockdown matches and stuff like that. ODB, the female, that crazy female on TNA, and what's so awesome Kong and all of them. Man, they really had some good things going on with TNA, and TNA actually focused on their females way more than WWE did. And, you know, their females were called knockouts, you know, and they weren't coming out there, although they were beautiful. The women that TNA had, they were beautiful, but that's not what TNA was focusing on. They were focusing on talent. So, you know, I just hate that people try to give WWE the credit that TNA deserve in that department. I'm sure some people will probably disagree with me, but you know,
yeah.
Leave your comments and let me know why you disagree with me if you do.
Send the hate tweets to Big Southern. Hate tweets to Big Southern. I have nothing to do with it, man. I'm here to play the devil's advocate. So, Lady G, how far back? So did you watch the Attitude Era? 90, what was it? People have different timestamps on that. People think it's like 96 to 03, 97 to 03. But did you watch the WWE Attitude Era?
Not very often. Let's see, in the 90s. Let's see. I'm trying to think how old I was in the 90s. I know I was a teenager, so I was pretty much not into wrestling at that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was hanging out and doing my own thing. I wasn't into much TV then.
Yeah, that was when Stone Cold and
when I was young.
Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H and all of that crazy stuff was going on then.
Yeah, I mean, I watch. I just wouldn't watch as often as like I do right now. Like right now, I'm a True Blood wrestling every Monday, Tuesday, and you know, whenever. And the network is awesome to have. So people, if you do not have the network, you should subscribe. $9.99 a month.
Man, so she's gonna cheap plug the network, but she ain't gonna cheap plug. You best cheap plug the podcast too, yo.
The Rasslin Cafe.
We talking about wrestling. You know, you got to have people watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, speaking of the network, that's where you can go, Lady G, to look at Trish Stratus, Victoria, and Jazz. You know, a lot of people don't talk about Jazz, man. I thought she was a beast in the ring, man.
Yeah. They wasted her, man. They wasted her.
And China was good. And the Glam was on Beth Phoenix.
A lot of people shit all over China. Some people say that China wasn't talented, and that's bull crap because yes, she was. They were saying that the only reason why they did this because she was this and that and the other. But the thing about it is China did her thing, and she was talented. She was really talented. So I thought China was one of the best. I guess you could call her big woman talents they ever had.
Yeah, man, it's just too bad that China and WWE, you know, had their quote fallout, man, because the matches that she could have had with people back in the day, man.
Boy, even right now, if she could have stayed healthy and everything, even right now, she could have, because you know she was still young. She wasn't that, you know, she wasn't super old or nothing like that. I mean, she could have, just imagine if she could have been working with some of these females like Nia Jax or Tamina, just to show them how to, you know, shine more. Man, please.
Yeah, I guess the only way you can have those dream matches, man, is in the 2018 or 2000, whatever it is, the latest WWE 2K game.
Yeah, you probably have to create China's character.
Yeah, and so yeah, we got the Royal Rumble coming up. We were briefly touching on that. The main, well, I don't know which one would be the main event. You know, they always have the Rumble closing it out, but we got so far on the card, handicap match, AJ Styles defending his championship versus Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which we already know damn well that is not going to be a handicap match because you already know Sami and Kevin is going to feud over who is going to pin AJ, and they're going to start getting into it. And I believe that's the reason why Daniel Bryan did that the way he did that.
And another reason why we know that AJ is going to retain, because there was a spoiler put out showing participants for SmackDown's next pay-per-view. Yes,
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you got that whole, card subject to change thing, but I don't see AJ retaining. It shows all the people in there, not including AJ, which means he's going to retain. And this is how you know that, in my opinion, my logic, this is how we know that AJ is going to win. And this is how they're going to book all the winners or participants for that match. Because if you haven't noticed the trend lately on SmackDown, everyone's been defeating AJ. And after the Royal Rumble, I guarantee it, when they set up for the next pay-per-view, everyone's going to say, well, I pinned him. So, all right, Shane or Daniel is going to say, look, how about we throw all you guys in the chamber, and then the winner of that match goes to Rumble or goes to Mania. So, we're not here to ruin everyone's surprise. So, I should have said spoiler alert. You guys could have just fast forwarded through this. But, what do you think about that, Lady G? What are your thoughts about dirt sheets? Are you the type of person that likes to read dirt sheets and like to know what's going on behind the curtain before it happens?
Nope, I don't keep up with dirt sheets. I like the element of surprise.
I do too. I mean, that's why I really need to stop dirt sheets, reading dirt sheets, but I still do it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of boredom or something, but I think with the dirt sheets, though, where it comes in handy, what are your thoughts about this, Southern? When people they show up on TV for a while and then boom, they're just, they're gone. But the announcers really don't tell you why they're gone. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, when John Cena, left for his movie thing, was it ever talked about why he was gone?
No, it wasn't talked about, and I'm glad that they didn't talk about it because, I mean, really, when John Cena leave, he don't leave for a long enough period of time for somebody to miss him. Well, not me anyway. Every time he leaves, it's like, I don't even notice that he's gone. I'm not that big of a fan of John Cena. I'm not taking anything away from him, but just not that big of a fan.
But for storyline, take out your personal feelings and all this other stuff. For storyline and continuity purposes, I mean, to me, it would make sense for them to say, yeah, John Cena is injured, he'll be out for blah, 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 blah. Or maybe WWE's hands may be tied, in this case, for John Cena, because they don't know when he will come back due to movie commitments. I mean, he's gone long enough to have someone wonder, storyline-wise, okay, so why is he gone? Okay, why all of a sudden now he's coming back? I mean, the first feud that came to mind was, made me think about this, was the Big Boss Man, the Nails from like 25 years ago. Okay?
Wow.
So I remember Nails and Big Boss Man got into a fight in the ring. Nails beat the hell out of him with his nightstick, and he was off TV for like a month or two. The Big Boss Man, and the reason why he was off TV was in real life was because his dad died, or somebody died in his family. But they said, kayfabe, they said, well, due to that vicious attack, he's out for an injury. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, they don't got to tell the truth, like, he's out for movie commitments or whatever. They should fake the funk and be like, yeah, he's off TV. They got to give, in my opinion, they should give the viewer a reason why he's gone for it.
But a lot of times they do say why he's off. They'll say he's off making that movie or whatever, because that's what they did with The Miz. But the way that they wrote Becky Lynch off is by her getting attacked by the Riot Squad.
So when you say
They
they, are
never.
you
I
saying
don't
they
remember.
as in the dirt sheets or they as in the E? Because I've never heard the E saying about the reason why he left. He just got bombed on by the Shield or whatever it was. He got written off TV on that Monday. I don't distinctly believe, unless I'm wrong here. Somebody can correct me.
On what now?
About the Miz being off TV.
Oh, no, the only thing that I remember them, I know that was the last thing that happened to him, but I don't remember them ever really promoting that's what happened and everything.
But they used to do that 25 years ago. So I guess my question is, for continuity purposes, should they go back to that, or should they just leave it as is and just tell them whatever they want to tell them whenever they want to tell them?
I think that they need to, kind of. Are you talking about like something like Roman Reigns? Not Roman Reigns. The Shield dog. The Miz out, and you talking about like the announcers reminding people that that's why the Miz is off of TV.
Yeah, so the dude's been. I mean, I don't know the numbers, so don't correct me. Let's just say he's been gone for 2 months.
Okay.
Okay, so why is he gone for 2 months? What happened to him? You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, I think that they should do like not constantly remind or whatever, but like they could mention it at first. And then when it gets closer to the time for him to come back, then yeah, they should go back and remind people why he was off of TV if they are planning on going that direction for them to go after the person who put them out. Because now you got to remember Dean Ambrose is gone now. So, I mean, I don't know, but I know that I'm wondering if they are going to continue that feud when the Miz come back. If the Miz is going to try to go after Roman or not. Or if I'm sure he's going to enter himself into the Royal Rumble, but I'm wondering if he's going to go after Roman Reigns too.
I have a prediction here. I think he's going to return, and then I think he's going to mention unfinished business with this person, that person. But right now, I'm going to be entering myself into the Royal Rumble. And then after the Royal Rumble, that's where he's going to get back into a title picture or something. But in my opinion, based on what he's been doing these past couple of years, they should bump him up to the heavyweight picture, man. He needs a title run, man.
I was just about to ask you, do you think the Miz should get the belt again?
I believe so. Lady G, what do you think about all this? About, people getting written off TV? Should there be an explanation? And what do you think about the Miz? Do you think he should be in the heavyweight championship title picture?
No, I don't. I think the Miz just needs to be written right on off. The whole entire roster. Miz is arrogant. He's a douchebag. I don't like the Miz. Okay, so he can wrestle.
But that's it. He's doing his job then. That means he's doing his job.
I understand that, but okay, I don't care for the Miz. Like, they have him doing stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. No.
That's hilarious.
You shut your mouth and go.
I like that.
Write him off. Write him off.
When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
I actually, y'all, man, when my kids get out crazy like that, start fighting, I actually pulled that on them one time. And they just looked at me like, Dad, what the hell, Dad? I'm like, I'm serious, man. The Miz taught me how to parent. Now my hand's up. Why is your mouth not closed? Wow. So yeah, we found a Miz hater. That's all good. Everyone has their, I've really grown, to the Miz. I like his promo stuff, man. His in-ring stuff could
He's
improve.
a really good promo guy.
He would be good as a manager, man, but I don't think, even though he's been in the game for 10 years, man, he could do a little bit better in the ring. So I just lost my train of thought here. You mentioned Dean Ambrose. 9 months according to WWE, 50% tricep.
Yeah, you already know they full of crap.
I'm calling
he
it
ain't
now,
gonna be
though.
out for no 9 months.
I say he's gonna be back sometime between May and July. So,
and I think that you already know that when he come back, he's gonna be heel. He's going to turn heel, and it's going. I'm predicting it's going to be because Seth Rollins pretty much moved on with Jason Jordan. That's exactly what it's going. That's what I think is going to happen.
Lady G,
and I think that'd be a good move for Dean.
What do you think about Dean Ambrose? What he's going to do, Lady G, when he comes back?
When he comes back, he's going to wreck some stuff. I do believe.
You think he's going to go heel?
It's a possibility. I would like to see him heel.
I would love to.
I mean, he's already badass anyway, you know, so.
I would love to see him as heel because, you know, he has not gone heel yet since his here in the WWE. I'm talking like individual run, not the Shield. And this guy, you know, 5 years in the WWE, you know, this injury could be like a blessing in disguise for him because really the only time off he's had was when he did that movie a couple years ago and his honeymoon.
Yeah.
So he's a workhorse, and I really believe Dean is very underrated, in my opinion.
I do too. I really think Dean is underrated too.
And he, you know, when he won the heavyweight championship, I was really excited for him, man. You know,
me too. Mm-hmm.
And he deserved it. So hopefully, but you know, as you can, we're speculating here is that the second part of 2018 will be dominated. You know, they will dominate the WWE with a storyline between Seth and Dean Ambrose. And I would love to see a Dean Ambrose Roman Reigns, but you know, Roman Reigns is on another level, so too good for that storyline. But he should just bomb on all of them, really. Tell you the truth.
I'm telling you, man. I'm really disappointed with what they are doing with. They keep trying to push Roman Reigns down people. I don't get it. But oh well.
You know, I'm not trying to be a Roman Reigns fanboy, but
whatever.
He has improved, though. You know what I'm saying?
I give him that.
I mean, compare him to some of the past. How different is he from other wrestlers? Like, okay, The Rock, he wasn't all that great in the ring, but he was good on the mic. Tell me, what's the difference between The Rock and Roman?
The difference between the Rock and Roman on what now?
Yeah, that's where we're headed. So you say bull crap. So let me see how
are
you define
talking
it.
about? Are you talking about false promos?
No, I'm leaving
Or
it
are
up to
you talking about wrestling ability?
We're talking about overall.
Oh shit, man! The Rock was more entertaining. The Rock was more energetic. The Rock was just the people's champion. That's just all to it.
Okay, so
man, how dare you ask me a question like that?
So charisma.
Hold on, I ain't trying to interrupt, but I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I was gonna get to you.
The Rock has Roman on the mic. I'm sorry, Roman
in the ring too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. He said overall, and that was the first thing. The Rock, hands down, got the mic over Roman. I'm sorry. I like Roman Reigns. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Roman, but he needs to touch up on his mic skills because he's still off in left field a little bit.
Well, you know, to be fair, The Rock kills everybody on the microphone. Okay, I mean, he could wipe the floor clean with damn near 90% of the roster today, in my opinion. But in ring ability, in ring presentation, I think they're about equal. Because what differs The Rock from Roman when it comes to in ring? Because a lot of people bash on Roman for his in ring, like he's gasping for air a lot. The Rock did that too. Okay, he has all these certain moves. The Rock does too. He plays to the people. Roman does too. So The Rock only smashes Roman, in my opinion, in the charisma department. But in the ring, if you really go back and look at one match, go look at the Goldberg and The Rock match. You know, he does his job, you know, according to the ring, as far as what he's supposed to do. And Roman plays his role according to what he's supposed to do in the ring. So maybe The Rock was a bad comparison. So that brings up a topic, though. Give me your guys' opinion, Lady G and Big Southern, about character development. what do you guys think about how the WWE creates characters? And if you guys are gonna shit all over it, I want to hear, because I'm gonna shit all over it. What do you guys think? How does the E can create better characters? Because there has been feedback out there in the community from people that states that the WWE does not know how to create characters. Thoughts on that?
Well, I have to disagree with that. I think that WWE are very capable of creating characters. I mean, the only thing that they mess up with is developing, having them like look at Enzo and Cass. That's WWE product. Look how over those guys were. The thing that the WWE did that was really stupid is split those guys up. They don't fall through on the characters that they create. Now, that's my opinion on it. I think that they do create really good characters. Look at Bray Wyatt, but screwing him up. Bray Wyatt I think that Bray Wyatt is underrated too. And I think that it's not his fault. He's getting, just totally wasted. That's just, I don't get it.
So
he's getting totally wasted.
Lady G, what do you think about character development?
I'm in agreement with Big Southern. You create a character and you just set them out there and then don't use them. Just like you said, Bray Wyatt, underrated. They're good at creating characters, but lousy at using them. Take, let's see, who do I want to use for an example? Okay, the Big Show. I know he's got a job. This dude should have been dominating when he was in ring, right? And look how they made an ass out of him. Okay, and Big Cass and Enzo, they should have never split it up when they did. I'm agreeing with Big Southern. These guys were really over, and Enzo still is. Where's Big Cass at right now? They should have kept them together. You create a character, and then you just, what's the word am I looking for? They just don't use them. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they shit on them.
They don't use them right.
Put
them in a shit pot and expect them to get out on their own.
Just like the, what those guys call, what they call? Ascension.
I know,
Ascension. Yeah, those guys, they were doing really good when they were in NXT, and then as soon as they came to NXT, the main roster, boy, they just got bombed on real quick. But they didn't really have a chance.
In fairness, though, man, the Ascension, man, they got kind of like the 80s, 90s type character, man, and we're in the reality era now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But man, I think that they could have used those guys better. Just like when the guys that came up with Enzo and Cass from NXT. What were those guys called? The other one's still there. He's with Rusev now. But when they got rid of,
Aiden English.
Yeah. When they got rid of his partner or whatever, I forgot what those guys what their names were. But anyway, they good at creating characters. They just don't stick with it, and they don't really elevate like they used to. Because Undertaker was a WWF WWE creation, and look at him. The list goes on and on with characters that they created, but like I said, they are good in the creating character department, but they have lost touch when it comes to developing.
So what I'm hearing from y'all is point the finger of shame at the booking, because they can create these characters, but they just can't follow up on them, right?
Exactly.
And that's where, behind the scenes shit, in my opinion, can come in. Because, why are they not behind Bray Wyatt? Are they not behind him because they believe he's too injury prone. I mean, 2017, he had the title, for a cup of coffee, so to speak.
Yeah, but Bray Wyatt haven't been injured for a while now. The only thing that happened to him was something that's natural, which was a sickness. Same thing happened with Roman Reigns and Bo Dallas, and they had a scare with other people too. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird because to me, a lot of people may disagree with me on this, but to me, if they were going to have Undertaker's streak broken, it should have been Bray Wyatt to break that streak, because Bray Wyatt is basically a what's the word I'm looking for? He's basically a somewhat of the two when it comes to the Undertaker. He's a clone, if you will, of the Undertaker, but just more modernized. But they didn't follow through with that, and to me they really messed up Bray Wyatt's character.
I think, in my opinion, how they messed up on Bray Wyatt is, first they should have let him go over Taker, and then just have him continue being dominant. So to book him to lose all these matches, he's losing credibility. So he's gonna talk about all this whoopla, but yet you get your ass kicked. You lose all the time, so you're losing. You're losing stock. I don't really. I think it's still a chance for Bray to come out of this on top. But if they don't go ahead and start now, Bray Wyatt is just going to be a joke, man. I think
he's just going to be a straight up joke.
I think he's fucked already, to tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, could be.
I mean, because it went all downhill ever since that John Cena feud, and I would hate to be on the bandwagon of haters, but a lot of people in the wrestling community, stated the same. Not saying it's fact, just opinion, that ever since John Cena, killed that feud between him and Wyatt, that's when it went all downhill for him. But everyone likes to blame John Cena for everything, man. We can have a 9.0 earthquake here in my town tomorrow, and people will blame John Cena for it. So
they'll blame Donald Trump for that. But anyway, so
thank you for taking the words right out of my mouth, because I sure was going to say that. Yeah.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. I was going to say something.
Let me ask you this quick question. So give me a good example, both of y'all. Give me a good example of characters that they have created that are working.
Characters that they created that are working right now. Yeah. I get now. See, that is that's excellent. I got to give.
Right.
Yeah.
They've all been together. They've been together for how long? Like
for a few years now.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They got split them apart. Everybody loves the New Day and their bootios.
Yeah, man.
Now they're pancakes.
I'll never forget 2 years ago, man, when I was on a trip with the family 2 years ago. I found a box of bootios in FIE, man. I was all excited. Now you can get on Amazon now. You can get it on Amazon now.
I remember you telling me about that.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
The freaking bootios. But let me see. Oscar. Right now, Oscar, although a lot of these guys were already established characters somewhere else, they really got their shine when they came to the WWE. So, can't really say that WWE created these people, but when they rename them like they did with Finn Balor, like they did with Oscar, like they did with Sasha Banks, like, all of these different people, then pretty much they do feel comfortable with saying that that's their creation. So that's why I'm gonna have to go with Oscar. I like the way that they are portraying her right now as undefeated. She left NXT. Oscar is going to be a legend. She's already a legend in NXT. She left there without ever losing the belt. Never got pinned. So, and relinquished the title and just pretty much passed it on. And, it's going to be, that's why it's going to be so big when one of these females end up beating her. And
all right, guys.
Yeah,
there's your weekly public blowjob. That was to Oscar though, but Oscar is a beast. Right. Oscar is a beast, but in my opinion, she needs to stay limited on the microphone or get her a manager.
She needs to stay limited on the microphone, but her actions speak louder than her words, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm hoping that they don't ruin it. Like, in my opinion, what's her face? The other beast on Raw, The Rock's cousin, Nia Jax.
Nia. Mm-hmm.
Now they're putting personality on her. Now she's in love and blah 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 blah. But I'm thinking, you know, maybe
I think that was just something for them, for her to do for right now, to kind of keep her out the way, out of the spotlight, until they are ready to push her like they really want to.
What do you think about Nia Jax, Lady G? Do you think that they should have just kept her like a monster? Or what do you think about what's going on with her right now?
They push her. They need to go ahead on and push her.
I agree.
She needs a belt around her waist.
She should have had a belt already, in my opinion.
Hell no, man! Y'all done lost y'all damn mind.
Come on, okay. So I'm not gonna put her up against Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess in a way, ready for Oscar.
Oscar's already beat her ass when she was in NXT. So shit, y'all done lost y'all damn mind.
It wasn't a walk in the park though. It wasn't a walk in the park though.
Nia Jax is badass, and you got to admit it. Just go ahead on and admit it.
She's straight, but she's just not. In my opinion, she is not ready. She's not ready to hold that title. Not yet.
Okay,
she still got a ways to go.
What would make her ready?
Okay, well, if they would push her, then you know what I'm saying, she could get to her.
But the thing about it, look at now, yeah, I believe that if they would have brought Nia up from NXT, let's say if Nia should have stayed in NXT, but they shouldn't have brought her up as fast as they did. I believe that Nia should have been there until she improved more, and she should have won, like the even if she wasn't the one to let's say that they did everything the way that they did it, and Oscar left NXT undefeated, and Nia Jax was the next woman in line to basically be the women's champion. I think that they should have left her there until she won the championship there, and it would have gave her more time to develop more. I think that she is going to eventually. And I do think that she's gotten a lot better than she was when she first came, but still, she wasn't ready when they she was not ready when they brought her up. And right now, I think that the storyline that they have her in is stupid or whatever. But you know, right now, I think that they are doing the right thing. And then you got to look at. They just brought Oscar in. They just brought Paige back. They got these other two females who just came up. And see, these other two females, they have been in the game a lot longer than Oscar. Not in the WWE, but in the game, they have been there a lot longer than Oscar. Not Oscar, Nia Jax. And okay, so this is what I think. If I believe that they are going to do some shakeups or whatever the case may be after WrestleMania, and I honestly think that they need to probably put Nia Jax on SmackDown. I think she would have a better chance there. I really think she would have a better chance.
I have to go back here. So you kept saying she's not ready, and I asked you a moment ago, what do you mean by that? And then I'm listening to what you were saying, and it sounds like you're pointing the finger towards a booking. So a booking decision, based on what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds to me like you said that if she stayed there longer at NXT booking wise, she would be better off.
And
so it doesn't matter how they book her. It doesn't matter how they book her. So she could wrestle the same style on the main stage.
Nope.
You didn't say that, though. That's why I need you to clarify. You didn't say that earlier.
She needs to develop more in the ring. That's what I'm talking about. They should, like I said, they brought her up to the main roster too fast. She wasn't ready when they brought her up. Although she's way better than she was before she, when she first came, although she's way better now, she would be a lot better off right now if would have waited to bring her up. And she should have at least got the NXT women's title before they brought her up. And I believe that her wrestling style would have developed a lot more if they would have left her in NXT for a lot longer length of time.
I agree with you.
They brought her up too early.
I agree with you there, but here's where I'm headed though. Since they already have her up here, over there on the main roster, they should have, just like they were at the beginning, they should have booked her like a unstoppable beast. And yes, her move set was limited, and that really exposed her as far as your wrestling ability that you were talking about, which I totally agree with. But if they would have just stuck with that, just have her be this kick-ass beast. But no, here she's gotten pinned probably 2 or 3 times since coming on the main roster. Now she got a heart. Now she's in love. So I think if they would have just booked her, just come in, do a couple of moves, hurt people.
Yeah. So you mean if they would have continued on with the way that they brought her in, if they would have did that, they wouldn't have had no choice but to have to put the belt on her.
That's where I was coming from. I agree with you with the wrestling thing, that she could improve, and if she would have seasoned herself a little bit more. But I don't know why they rushed her. I don't know if it was because they needed more flavor or if it was The Rock.
I don't know. But the crazy thing is too, is look at Tamina. Tamina, they straight up wasted Tamina, dog. They wasted her. They could have did so much with her.
Yeah, it's just sad how the WWE, they just pick and choose their favorites. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Like, this person could have been trained better, trained more, given more time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like I keep saying, who are we, man? We're just little punks behind the computer. So, doing our thing. But the promo skills, though, with Jax, I don't know. She just, like, I think I've said this before, she just doesn't need to talk. Just go in the ring, smash on people, go to the pay window, and call it a day. Because to me, in my opinion now, when it comes down to if they fight, because I was excited about that until they done messed up Jack's character, going back to the character development, I was looking forward to that. 2 unstoppable beasts. You know, Jack's, I mean, even though they've done it on NXT, I've seen the match, but on the main stage I'm talking about, it would have been cool on Mania. But now I could care less about that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Charlotte against Asuka, Paige against Asuka. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Paige's lackeys, they still got ways to go. They're still green.
Yeah. Well, old girl Mandy Rose, she's just really getting started. But the thing about Mandy Rose is she looked the part. This girl come in, she already, in a short period of time, she's already got a better move set. But I know that people are just looking at Nia Jax for her big, being a big woman or whatever, and she should just be coming in, dominate and basically be the Goldberg of the company or whatever the case may be, but like far as a woman anyway. But I don't know. I know that a lot of them still have a long ways to go. Just like we could throw Dana Brooke in there, we can throw Carmella in
hell
there
no.
because
Dana
Carmella,
Brooke, she
you know,
ain't
I
nothing.
think that Carmella has gotten way better too. They brought her in way faster than they should have too.
Dana Brooke, no. She needs to be like a manager, bro. She ain't got no skill in the ring.
She actually have skill. They just not using her. They not doing her right. They were going to push her, but for some reason it just all came to a screeching halt.
So I ain't trying to start a conflict here, man. Is it all about how they're using them, or can we actually see them in the ring, how they do things? Like, oh my, she needs more work. She needs more work. She couldn't tell.
That's what I was talking about when it comes to Nia Jax.
And that's the same thing with Dana Brooke. She seems like a deer in headlights in the ring.
I don't know about all that. I think that she's now Dana Brooke. She ain't ready to be. Like I said, they brought her up too early. They brought her too early. They brought Nia up too early. They brought Carmella up too early. Even Alexa Bliss. She felt like they brought her up too early, but Alexa she learned really fast. And just like Carmella, she's improving a whole lot. Because when she first came in, well, she was really good when she was with Enzo and Cass in NXT. But when they brought her up to the main roster, they kind of screwed her up.
She was just a manager.
And she wasn't
with
really
those guys, though.
Talking like she should have been. But now she's doing a lot better with her promos.
So, this all circles around character development. That seems to be the main dish for the podcast. Dana Brooke, if they brought her up too soon, if they didn't, that's subjective. But there's just call a spade, bro. There's some people that got it, some people that don't. It doesn't matter how well if they're used or not. Let's say they picture the greatest storyline out there. Her in-ring wrestling ability will still be shitted on. Even her like promo skills. She sounds like she's reading off a damn script. She has no emotion. I mean, how can you when she's talking? How can you connect with her? And then she's forgetting some lines here and there. I'm not shitting on what's her face, but maybe she's just not the wrestling type. You know what I mean? They only brought her in because of the bodybuilding background. Shit, say that fast.
Yeah,
times.
that's the same thing with Alexa. That's the only reason why they brought her in too.
But who schooled Alexa though? Here's the difference: Charlotte and Shaul Guerrero, they all hooked her up. Mm-hmm. Who's helping out Dana?
Yep.
We gotta find that out, man.
I have no idea.
It doesn't seem like maybe that's why they have her casted, with the Titus Worldwide, because like, oh man, you ain't shit on the mic, you ain't shit in the ring, so let's have you do this with these guys until you improve. You know what I mean? We can't sit there and blame the booking on everything. I mean, some people got it, some people don't.
Yeah, we can't blame the booking on everything, but you can sure blame them for a lot.
But like I said, in defense, some of these guys got it, sometimes they don't. I'm not saying the booking makes all the greatest decisions, but I have to say some of these guys, I really believe Dana Brooke is better there to be best suited for eye candy, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Until she can get her wrestling skills up there and her mic skills. What do you guys, speaking of character development, I never watched them in TNA because I could never find the damn channel that they're on. Just like ROH and New Japan. I had ROH when I had DirecTV, but I don't have DirecTV no more, so I gotta find ROH's channel. What do you guys think about Matt Hardy and the Woken thing? I know it's originally the Broken thing, but Vince has this intellectual property so he can own that shit.
Yeah, well, I like it myself. I think it can go far. I wish this would have happened before now, but yeah.
Lady G, what do you think about Matt Hardy's resurgence?
I like it, but the laugh is a little creepy.
It's hilarious.
That's the whole point.
I love it.
The laugh is a little creepy, right?
I'm like, man, how can you hold your breath for that damn long, man? I couldn't do it, man. I think I'm a smoker, so. What was I gonna say? That was one of the feuds I was looking forward to. I was daydreaming about that years ago when he was in
talking about Bray Wyatt and
yeah.
Yeah.
And Obviously it's working. The delete thing is off the chain, but I wish he could have just came with the broken character, because I'm not sure in TNA if the broken character was a heel character or a babyface, because I wasn't watching it. But
I don't know. I just know people went stupid for it, and people already, soon as they saw Matt Hardy before that even came about, everybody was already saying delete, delete, delete. So it was well known.
And it's working too. So I just hope that they don't, it's just, I give Matt props because in the Hardys tag team, Jeff Hardy was the one that was tagged to be the overachiever, the guy who's going to come out like the Shawn Michaels, out of that team. And now Matt Hardy, was viewed as the Marty Jannetty of that team. But
you already know when, I wonder if they're going to let Matt Hardy, not Jeff, use Brother Nero, or if they're going to try to change the freaking name.
Yeah, with Vince and his control type attitude, I really see it changing, even though Nero is his real name, isn't it? Like his middle name or something like that?
Yeah.
Or he could do like what Stone Cold did, Steve Austin. He went and changed his name, so WWE can't really use it as intellectual property. It's like the Warrior. The Warrior did the same thing.
Yeah.
Thoughts about Brock Lesnar, Lady G? He has a title defense coming up at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, even though I just gave everybody a spoiler, but everybody knew that already, that he's going to win the match. What do you think? What do you guys think about that match, Brock Lesnar?
I don't think he should, but more than likely he will. I don't know why they want to keep the belt on him right now. I mean, yeah, Brock's a badass and all, but he don't show his face enough for me. In my opinion, like, he needs to be in ring more. I mean, defend your belt.
He's an attraction, though.
That's a good question, though. So do you think...
Put your belt on an attraction.
Do you think he should be...
A lot of people.
Do you think he should show up more often? I'm not talking like more often. Yeah, I get the whole attraction thing. The Undertaker was an attraction, but he showed up more than once a year at once upon a time,
Right.
I mean...
He needs to be in ring more.
What do you think?
But you don't put your belt on somebody.
Go ahead.
You don't put your belt on somebody that's hardly ever there. Like, and you got all these other guys that bust their ass every week, in and out, week in, week out, they just bust their ass. And then you got him over here holding the title that someone else can have. Like, you know what I'm saying, that deserves it. I'm not saying that he didn't deserve it at one point in time, but, like, right now, like, you don't show your face enough. You don't deserve that. You're just sitting there, you're getting paid all that money for what? Nothing. Come show us.
Yeah, because his name is worth that much. Shoot, everybody gonna pay Brock Lesnar. The highest bidder is gonna get Brock Lesnar.
So when you say attraction, define that. Are you talking like, should he show up once a year? I mean, because last year was probably the most he's ever showed up since he's returned back in 2012.
Right.
Shit, I almost called you Lesnar. Southern, what do you define attraction? Should he show up once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, or when storyline comes for it?
Well, he attraction is just basically, I defined it just in the same way that Jim Ross defined it. You don't need your champion there all the time. Just like back in the territory days, the champion a lot of times wouldn't even be at the show. The champion would be somewhere else defending the title or whatever, and they didn't need the champion there, the championship there, in order to have a great show or sell out a show. And the thing about it is, depending on how much. Now, I'm not saying that somebody who come in once a freaking year should have or whatever. And Brock Lesnar worked a hell of a lot more than that. So there's not a big issue with him having a belt. They already know how to do this, and apparently they don't have a problem with paying him for working those limited days, and they already know that Brock Lesnar's name is going to put butts in the seat. So why not put the belt on him?
Well, put butts in the seats, and ratings are important, okay, no matter
Yeah.
how you slice it. Ratings have not really improved at all every time Brock was on TV.
Well, a lot of times during the Brock Lesnar segments, people turn it to it, and then after his segments is going up, that's why a lot of times they try to put Brock on first, or they try to put Brock on last to keep people attention, because people are like, oh man, I do want to see Brock Lesnar, see what's going to happen with that, because a lot of people, you already know that Paul Heyman adds on to Brock Lesnar's character. So
character development again. Even though he is this badass that comes in, smashes on people and leaves. But I'm not one of them. But some people are saying they wish he would talk on the mic, which I don't think so.
No.
The last time he took over the mic, it was really bad. I had to change the channel.
Brock Lesnar should be a man of few words and just let his actions speak for him. Just like I like when he say crazy things like, Paul, say something stupid, something like that. I like that he don't have to say nothing. And then like the time when when Brock Lesnar said, pay the, stuff like that. That's all. Because just say those little funny punchlines, and for the most part, keep your mouth shut. Let Paul talk.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's Brock Lesnar. I think he's done after Mania, man.
I don't. I think that Brock is gonna. I think he's gonna sign another contract with the WWE.
In my opinion, Brock being a businessman,
because there's nothing else. There's nothing else for him to do right now. Because everything that he was going to do with the UFC pretty much is gone, because the guy who wanted to fight him, he got in trouble and he done got suspended. So that's not going to happen. And Brock loved money. So Brock is going to sign again. I guarantee you.
But he also loves being a father. He's going to be like 43 years old. He might want to hang it up and just spend all his money, spend time with his kids, hang out on the farm. That's what I would do. 43 years old?
Yeah, but the thing about it, the dude apparently still got it in him to want to entertain and make money.
Think so?
Because he was, like I said, he was gonna go do the UFC thing, but all of that calmed down after that guy who was talking all that crap to him got in trouble and got suspended. So apparently he wants to do something.
I heard somewhere on these dirt sheets that there's a clause in the contract with Brock, something about, there was a reason why he showed up on more dates, last year.
Because I guess Vince probably smarted up and said, I'm not paying you all this money just for you to come 2 or 3 times.
And there you go. So he shouldn't be an attraction. So have him defend the title. In my opinion, at least have him defend the title on the 4 main pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? Have him defend at Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, which he's done. I don't remember last year's Royal Rumble main event.
I think he's defended that title on a lot of pay-per-views 2017.
Yeah, but he had to, though. That's the thing. He had to. And WWE's not paying him all this money because he's this and that. That could be part of the reason. But in my opinion, I was starting to say earlier, Brock is a businessman. So he's going to get the most money he can for the least amount of work. That's what I would do. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. I'm like, so I don't think, I would say 50% WWE is paying him because of the namesake. But also, they're also paying him because, Brock is saying, fuck it. You don't give me what I want, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I go to UFC. Yeah.
Shit, I go to TNA. Just kidding, but
oh boy, I don't think he would do it.
Nah, man. But so yeah, if they just look at all the matches, that he could have possibly. I would have loved to seen Brock versus Cesaro, man.
Yeah,
that would have been off the chain, bro. Because they're both strong motherfuckers. They're both skilled. You know what I'm saying? People are talking about Kurt Angle and Brock again. I'm like, no. The dude could, he could barely walk. Kurt.
I don't want to see that.
I wouldn't wish that on Kurt. I would even love to see Brock versus Jason Jordan with his background that he got going on, his wrestling skills.
Yeah, even Brock versus Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, they went to college together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But again, it comes back to the booking. Like we like to blame it on 50% of the time. But so I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast. You know, this is podcast number 17. And again, Happy New Year to everybody. Don't forget at the Rasslin Cafe on Twitter, at Big Southern on Twitter. You can catch us on Facebook, Rasslin Cafe, and also YouTube, The Rasslin Cafe. Type that in. Subscribe to the page so you can check out our content. Hopefully you will share everything to people.
And remember, Rasslin is Rasslin. The Rasslin Cafe.
Yeah, we representing for the dirty over here, man. So we got to do it that way. And if you guys have listened to us this far, I'm going to give away, yours truly is going to give away a $50 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse. And if you guys can give me these, if you guys can be the 50th reviewer, you guys will get that gift certificate. And I will read the review on the podcast and announce your name if we can get that many. Or if we can get a 50 reviewer. And then
I might go on there and do 50 reviews so I can get that Outback gift certificate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, going there under different names, but don't forget, man, we have access. To, we can track your IPs and stuff, man. And that'd be a good thing, man, for Valentine's. You know, for next month, take your woman out
significant
to
other,
your woman,
exactly.
Whatever. So share this podcast and retweet it, whatever. But you know, go to iTunes, review it, and
exactly.
When we reach the 50th reviewer, it might be past Valentine's, but I'm not saying the deadline's Valentine's. But when we post this on social media, we're not gonna tell you guys what it is. You guys are gonna have to listen to it, and let me see here. We got to think of something that they can like answer for us, Southern. So, what did we talk about so far?
Okay.
What question can we pull from the podcast?
Okay. So, let me think here. Who is the character? Who is the character that we said that I said needs more? The female that I said needs to more development. She could use more time to improve. That's what I think.
Did you pick one, or did you name a few, or did you want them to name all of them?
I named the main one that I was talking about. The main one. If you listen to the podcast, you should know who I'm talking about. It's the main one that I was talking about. The very first female that I named that came up too early. That's what I'll say.
If I remember, you said there was a few of them that came up too early, though.
Yeah, but there was one that I named the main one.
Okay, so let's do it this way. The very
first one.
Whoever you guys mentioned, Southern, you're gonna have to play judge on that one. So I'll let you know.
Will.
Okay.
I will.
Watch, someone's gonna be like, Dean Ambrose, right? I'm like, man, you didn't listen to the podcast, did you?
Yeah, it's the main one of the main. And then I just said females too. She was the main female. I want you to tell me who the main female I was talking about that came up too early and why I said it was too early that she came up. And I want you to tell me why. If you agree with me, I want you to tell me why you agree with me. And if you disagree with me, I want you to tell me why you disagree with me. That's how we gonna say, because I mean, you gonna have to put a little work in for this $50 worth of steak and baked potato. You know what I'm saying?
They got some bomb ass chicken. They got some bomb ass chicken wings and cheese cake over there too, man. Let me throw mine in there, okay? So this is gonna require you guys to listen to the podcast as well. I asked our guest, Lady G, if she watched the Attitude Era. See, it's simple. It's multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
Did she say yes or did she say no? And we're not going to give her Twitter name. We ain't going to give no email, nothing. You guys have to listen to this, man. So, Southern has his thing. I got my thing. And leave a review. Tell us, and this is the final piece. Give us the answers and then leave a review and a rating. If we don't see all that, if you give us half of that, that don't count. Okay? So, let's make this clear,
It
Southern.
sure don't.
Let's make this clear, Southern. So, Southern's answer to his question about who got brought up too early, the main one, because he's brought up a few. 2, I forgot mine. What was mine?
Yours was did
Lady G
did Lady G
watch the
watch
Attitude
the
Era?
Attitude Era, or did she not watch the Attitude Era? A, yes. B, no.
There you go. But you have to listen to get her answer.
Exactly.
And then leave a review and a rating, preferably a 5-star rating. And none of this
If
crap
it's anything
like,
less than a 5,
don't count.
You don't get the no, just kidding. Don't just give us a 5 because you want the steak dinner either.
Yep. So
keep it real.
Man, if you guys dog me, I swear I'm going to send you guys shit from the dollar menu to McDonald's or something. Here's your McChicken, dang it. So, yeah, this was an interesting discussion, man. I mean, about getting to hear y'all's thoughts about character development because, I mean, we're going to round it out and finish it out, but to finish it out for Lady G and Southern, I mean, do you guys think it's all about the in-ring, or do you guys really think it's just all in one? Like, yeah, you need to be good in the ring, but you also need to be good on the mic, blah, 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 blah.
You got to have the total package.
Yes, I agree. You need
now,
to be good on the mic and good in the ring.
If you are a Brock Lesnar or a Oscar or something like, or a Shinsuke Nakamura or something like that, that's your actions speak louder than your words. You get a pass. But there are certain people that have to, like let's say for instance Enzo. Enzo got to be good on the mic because he suck in the ring. I like Enzo, and I think that Enzo has come a long way, but he talks better than he walks. Let's just put it that way.
You know, Shinsuke, you mentioned Shinsuke. I've been hearing a lot of comments through interviews from people outside of the WWE saying that, and I agree with them, that there's more to Shinsuke than what we're seeing, and that they hate the fact how he's been booked, man. And I don't like how he's been booked, man.
Same thing goes with Kenta. Tommy. They calling him now. There's more to these guys.
Did you this has not been confirmed, but he broke the nose of Brian Kendrick with the go to sleep. So
I heard that it did happen. His nose his nose broke.
I know that. And that wasn't the rumor. The rumor was, or speculation is, they're thinking about banning him from using that move because he broke that dude's nose.
That would be so stupid. And, I mean, shit happens, so.
And this is why WWE is getting a bad rep, man. I mean, that's why like a lot of people like New Japan, because they you know, they're wally-whopping their opponents, bro. They're laying it in, you know what I'm saying? In WWE, they gotta do that daycare system stuff, like make sure you don't hurt. I mean, yeah, you don't want to injure the person, but
not purposely.
Yeah, not purposely.
But, I mean, shit happens.
Yeah, so you got any last words before we round things up, Lady G? You know, we hope we didn't upstage you on here, but hopefully you enjoyed your time on here. It was good to
be on the show. My first time, I was a little nervous. Maybe if I'm invited back, it won't be like that next time. I might have to show y'all up and stuff, you know.
Well, I think we should have you on again after the Royal Rumble. I would like to get your perspective on what you thought about the women's Royal Rumble, and
definitely give my opinion.
And get you to talk more. Now that you won't be shy from the next time. We've had some people like that though before on here, man. They were like, I didn't know what to say, blah, blah. I'm like, man, you know what to say, man. If I don't like it, I'll just cut it out. I'm just playing.
Okay, so no cutting me out now.
No, I'm not gonna cut you out. So, Southern.
It was nice being on.
Lady G, it was nice rolling with you guys, man. And any last thoughts? About anything? Did you guys hear about or watch the New Japan Chris Jericho thing?
I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either, but that match sounded fantastic, man. I would have loved to watch that, dude.
Me too.
So
let me ask one more question, and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right. So, what are 3 things that you predict that will happen in 2018? 3 things that you predict that may happen, and I'll go ahead and go first and say that I believe that Carmella will be the women's champion in SmackDown. I believe that.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you real quick. We can't do something obvious like I mean, are you talking she's gonna be champion because she cashes in? That's gonna be obvious because you know because her time is gonna be up like in the summer.
Yeah, but you know that some people fail at cashing in, and I believe she's going to be successful at cashing in.
So
she's going to actually win. She's going to actually get the title.
Your prediction is 1, she's going to cash in and successfully.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2, I believe that Samoa Joe will have a championship. I don't know. I think that it would be better for them to put him on SmackDown, but either way it goes, Joe is going to win a title.
Yeah,
I think that the WWE title should be the one that he wins, but we shall see. And I mean, this is predictable already, but I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say both of these things. No, I'll just say one because one of y'all might have the same idea, but I believe that Asuka is definitely going to have the Raw Women's title before 2018 is out, and I believe it's going to be sooner than later. Or we don't know; she may challenge Charlotte. I mean, we'll see. I'd like for it to be a swerve like that, where we think that she's going to challenge Alexa for the belt, and then she just swerve and show up on SmackDown to challenge Charlotte. So we'll see. But anyway, next.
Hold up. Keep that simple here. So Asuka's prediction is what? She's going to...
I believe Asuka is going to win one of those titles, either the Raw Women's title or the SmackDown Women's title. I said that a lot of us already think that Asuka is going to go for the Raw Women's title, but I would like a swerve where she show up on SmackDown and challenge Charlotte instead.
Okay.
Because I'm believing that she's going to be the Royal Rumble winner.
Lady G, you got 3 predictions for 2018?
I do not have any predictions as of yet. I know that Asuka's going to get a belt. Yeah, but that's not my prediction. That's fact. I'm just calling it as a fact because Asuka's Asuka. But as of right now, I don't have any more predictions. I predict that the WWE is going to be awesome this year, as every past year. But other than that, no.
So here are mine. I'm going to start with Daniel Bryan. After his contract is up in the fall, he's leaving. I think 205 Live will be no more. And I think Brock Lesnar is also leaving after Mania.
Well, we didn't say we were going to do this, but I'm going to disagree with 2 of your points.
What, the Brock and the Daniel Bryan?
Exactly. I think that the WWE is going to be forced to re-sign Daniel Bryan because they are not going to want him to go and wrestle for anyone else. And I don't believe that Brock Lesnar is going anywhere. So anyway,
I hate to bring up another topic, man, because we'll keep this short here. Because it really doesn't bother me. I mean, because I still get sleep when I can, but people or like CM Punk, like, okay, if I leave the WWE, the product's gonna suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So is the product gonna suffer if Daniel Bryan leaves? No,
I believe it will, because I believe that if Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan already said if he's not going to wrestle for the WWE, he's going to wrestle somewhere, and New Japan will take him really quick. Ring of Honor will take him really quick. And I really believe that if he goes somewhere else, a lot of these other guys who are unhappy are going to follow suit. Because Daniel Bryan was on Edge and Christian's podcast, and he said he have guys that come to him that are not happy. And and if these guys see that Daniel Bryan goes somewhere else and he's successful, they're going to follow right behind him.
But look at, I hate to say this and go there, but Daniel Bryan has more clout than, if a jobber, quote unquote, comes up to you, I'm not happy. Well, who cares? You weren't used that well anyways. You know what I mean? No one's gonna, like if Aiden English comes up, he didn't make much of a damn to the company, or if Rusev, he didn't really move the needle for the ratings. He didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't improve for the pay-per-view buys and all that stuff. He didn't sell. Take that back. Well, back then he wasn't selling a lot of merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Now he's the number one seller, but Rusev, bad example. I'm like 0 on 2 here for comparisons, but my point is the WWE. If I could see them fighting to keep Daniel Bryan, but if somebody else came along, like a Cesaro or whatever, I'm not saying he's shit. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm like, they're not gonna care.
I got what you're saying.
They're not going to care because between the two, who would you notice that's gone? Daniel Bryan. So
yeah, but I believe that if Cesaro or Rusev went somewhere else, then they would get pushed to the moon.
But that's not going to make a difference in the big scheme of things. Like CM Punk said back in 2011, he goes, WWE will go on. I'm just another spoke on the wheel, because they are a giant. Not one wrestler. Like Hogan left 20 years ago. Yes, business was dying, quote unquote, but they built new stars. They're always going to build new stars. They're not going to get as lucky.
That's true, but the thing about it, if these other guys go somewhere else, that's going to give them competition, big time.
But they've been saying
because
that
right now they don't feel like they have any competition.
Well, look at the wrestlers they had on TNA. They were never competition.
Well, they weren't competition because they kept bringing in fossils.
So wouldn't Daniel Bryan be considered a fossil going somewhere else?
Nope, because Daniel Bryan is still young. These other guys who they were bringing in to TNA were fossils.
So Kurt Angle,
50-year-old, and no, I'm not talking about Kurt Angle.
Okay,
now Kurt Angle going there gave WWE competition, but when they start to lose like AJ and they start losing like
how did he give them competition? The ratings were still shit. The attendance was still bad. The pay-per-view, they were still terrible, bro.
Who you talking about? TNA?
Yeah.
No, that was. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the last days of Kurt Angle being there. I'm talking about like when Kurt Angle first came, and then when TNA started really going downhill. They started going downhill really bad when they stopped paying their wrestlers and stuff. And they lost Joe, they lost AJ. They lost. They just kept. Sting left. They were doing good. TNA were doing really good. They weren't doing really good in the United States, but they were doing really good, like in the UK and Canada. So they were still, giving WWE a little bit of competition because a lot of people were really TNA. To the bone supporters. So they were giving WWE competition, whether WWE want to admit it or not. They were. they were the ones who came the closest to WCW, giving them competition. But WCW just were, they were bigger competition. TNA didn't come close, not close to the machine that WCW was, but they still were modern day closer than any other organization to giving WWE a little bit of competition.
Oh, wow. You keep flipping the script on here. I mean, unless you're not clarifying from the jump, bro.
Oh, man.
Because you said, yes, they were giving competition, then you flipped it, yes, in the UK and Canada. Yeah, I get that, but I'm talking about overall. We're not spreading it thin, like, let's pay attention to the UK niggas, the Canada. I'm talking about overall, like, have they beat them in the ratings? No. That's what they tried to do but a few years ago when Hogan came on board. They were threatening to do the Monday Night Wars. Again.
They did, but they did that in the wrong way because they tried to go head to head with the WWE, but they got mopped. So
when I say competition, I'm talking, yes, TNA was blowing up in the UK market. You know what I'm saying?
And Canadian,
and the E wasn't. So TNA was a monster over there. But when you look over
no. WWE still was, but TNA just got more support from UK and Canada. So I don't know. Now you had a lot of people in USA too that loved them, but that's where their support was more because their shows sold out more in Canada and UK than they did here in the US. Nobody wasn't wanting to pay all that money for them tickets, but still they were the ones that came the closest overall. If you look at our Ring of Honor was way smaller than TNA, but now Ring of Honor, they have risen above TNA.
All right, let's back up here.
What I'm saying is TNA came more close to giving WWE some competition. Anybody that's a fan of TNA takes away from WWE. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's what you mean by competition. So I'm looking at it like if you see on Raw or SmackDown 34 million viewers, and then you go over to TNA 1 million, 1.5.
That's still competition. That's competition. Because that 1.5 million takes away from WWE's the people that they could have on their team.
Okay, your standards are real easy then. So I mean, if you and I start a promotion tomorrow, and a month from now we get 500,000 viewers, that's competition to WWE.
That's competition for somebody. Yeah.
Wow. So okay, let's reword it then. Since competition is subjective, did they get to the point where WWE had to change their style? Did they ever felt, and yes, we can, dick around this and say, well, they probably have. Well, we don't know because we're not behind the scenes, but we can tell by their product. Because WCW forced WWE to change things up, right?
Yep.
Did TNA? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. TNA was never a threat to WWE. Vince was even quoted by saying in a conference call, we're not worried about TNA. And he was right, because he was given the impression that TNA is going to be their own worst enemy. You know what I mean? Because if you look behind the scenes, if you read about it, TNA just did not know how to run their company. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the same issue with WCW. They had way too many cooks in the kitchen. So I don't believe TNA merchandise, viewership, they were never a threat to WWE. Competition, yes. I mean, MTV could be competition. NFL could be competition, but a threat to WWE? I don't think so. And look at them now. And just the way they operated that ship, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because Dixie didn't have a wrestling background. You know what I mean? She didn't know the right people to hire. And a lot of people were trying to tell her.
The only thing that she was pretty much was a kind of like a female. Well, I can't really say that because Eric Bischoff did have wrestling. background, more of a wrestling background than she did. Yeah.
All right, y'all. On that note, it's good to talk about wrestling because we're all fans and we all like to see the product improve and all that stuff. So me and Southern, man, we just don't worry about it, y'all. But everything is subjective in the business as far as what draws, what doesn't draw, and blah 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 blah. But the bottom line is, we all want options. We all want something to watch. Not one company's better than the other. Not one company's worse off than the other. But like the old saying goes, the numbers don't lie. And WWE has some places where they can improve. Don't get me wrong on that. I mean, that's why I check out other promotions. But I'm not going to continue on that rant. But if you guys have any thoughts about any of this, and don't forget our questions that you guys need to answer. I'm not going to mention it on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, because you guys have to listen to the podcast to get the answers in order to get the $50 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse. And we hope you enjoyed the podcast for the 17th podcast, our first one for 2018. Don't forget to again follow us on Twitter at The Rasslin Cafe, Facebook.com/The Rasslin Cafe, Big Southern at Big Southern. Subscribe using Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, and check us out on podcastland.com. Our YouTube page, check us out there. Just search for The Rasslin, RASSLINCAFE, and you will get our podcasts there and other content that we will be uploading. So we will catch you guys for the next podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Rasslin Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at The Rasslin Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out our website at www.theraslincafe.com. Join us next time on another episode of the Rasslin Cafe podcast.